Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are taking a look at an awesome theme team in the Great League Remix Cup. I call this theme team the Arm Squad. Because, well, there are a lot of Pokemon that have a lot of arms, so I figured may as well throw them together in a team and see if we can get some wins with it. So on the lead we have Shadow Machamp with 4 arms. On the save switch, Cofagrigus with 4 more arms, and to close it out, Barbaracle, who has 4 arms and then a 5th hand as a head. So without further ado, let's hop into these matches and let's take a look at the Arm Squad in action. Alright, picking up an amazing lead Shadow Machamp into Shadow Lapras. They will save swap into their own Shadow Machamp. So my guess is this could be Caleb Peng's line, but there's a Frostlass in the back. So we'll get a shield with Cross Chop, and now we're going to counter swap into our Cofagrigus. Now Cofagrigus can tank a Rock Slide, gotta call it. It is the Rock Slide, no payback, which is really nice. And then we should be able to Shadow Claw down. This should just be a Cross Chop, so we don't have to respect that, and we'll be able to farm down. As you can see, in the first 2 matches, I was actually running Dark Pulse, but for the rest, I end up switching to Psychic, as that ended up being the more consistent moveset overall. We're able to land the Shadow Ball, which is so nice, but unfortunately they snipe me with Frostlass, but this is exactly why we have Barbaracle, as Barbaracle does very well against Frostlass. We are going to shield up the potential Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, we get baited. Oh, that is tragic. But now we're going for the Stone Edge and we get the shield. But since we have shield advantage and Fury Cutter charges pretty quickly, we'll be able to get to 2 Stone Edges before they get to 3 moves. They go for the Shadow Ball since they recognize they're not getting to a 3rd. And now Barbaracle is going to get to absolutely vanquish this Frostlass. In comes the Shadow Lapras, and Shadow Lapras is throwing. Now this Surf will hurt quite a bit. Surf does get us pretty low, but we're able to get to the Cross Chop. Okay, we have life here. We're able to get to the Cross Chop, gets the Lapras very low, and that's going to end up clutching out the match. You love to see it. Hopping into the next match, another nice lead in Dugong. They're going to save swap into a Blaziken. Honestly, I wasn't quite sure what to go into here for a moment, because I was like, Blaziken? I haven't seen one of those all season. So we're going to bring in our Cofagrigus. I shield up the potential Brave Bird. It's just the bait. And then we're able to Shadow Claw down before they're able to get there. That is very, very nice. Now we're going to be going for the Shadow Ball, and we get the shield, which honestly works out pretty well for me. And now we're going for another Shadow Ball, trying to apply a ton of pressure to this Dugong. Now we're able to land that, which is super nice, and now the Dugong is going to start unloading that energy. Now Icy Winds do a solid chunk of damage to us, unfortunately, but we're able to get off the Dark Pulse before they get to another move. That is basically the one advantage of Dark Pulse over Psychic, is on your second rotation you can get to it 1 sooner. We're able to farm down, and they have a Wigglytuff in the back, so this could be rough. As one big weakness to this team is we have no Pokemon that resist Charm. As I mentioned, it's a theme team, so we're going to get off as much damage as we can and trust in Barbaracle to try and close this match. Barbaracle going for the Stone Edge. This will be doing big damage, but will not be taking out the Wigglytuff. Oh, that gets it so low. Wigglytuff decides to throw. We will need to use the Slash Shield, but we should be able to outpace it and get to the Cross Chop. Barbaracle, yes, we're able to get to the Cross Chop, and we are going to be able to take out the opponent and to get us the win. You love to see it. Alright, hopping in the next match, Shadow Machamp into Dragalge. So this is not a great lead for us. We're going to save switch into the Barbaracle, and we bait out an Empoleon. And this is actually an okay situation for Barbaracle to be in, as we can apply a lot of shield pressure with these Cross Chops. Unfortunately, I over-farmed too much. I meant to throw in the middle of their waterfall, but I make a mistake, and I don't want to expend a shield in this matchup, so we go down. But the nice thing is, this does give Shadow Machamp some farm. And getting farm here is very nice. They bring back in the Dragalge, and we're going to be going for the Rock Slide. Rock Slide will really hurt Dragalge here. Rock Slide does connect. Unfortunately, I'm still switch locked in here, so things are not looking great. I shielded up. I want to preserve health on the Shadow Machamp, and now we're going to bring out Cofagrigus, and they have a Shadow Celio in the back. That is such a cool Pokemon. I'm going for the Psychic, hoping to get the debuff. We land it. Unfortunately, no debuff. A debuff there would have been huge, but no such luck. I decided to call it. It is the Water Pulse. That's definitely not ideal. Was hoping they would bait with the Body Slam, but no such luck. Psychic, we are going to be able to get the shield here. And now it's up to Shadow Machamp to try and close out this match. We do need to shield this up, of course, and then we have to farm down the Celio, which we're able to do. Dragalge's very low, and Shadow Machamp counters down and gets the win. All right, hopping into the next match, we have Shadow Machamp into Rainy Cast form. This is okay for us. The nice thing is we do outpace it, so we'll be able to get a shield with the Cross Chop, and now we'll save switch into the Barbaracle. And here, I probably shouldn't have shielded the Weather Ball. I could have survived it, but they're going to bring in an Obstagoon. And this works out really nicely for us as we have Cross Chop, which does double super effective damage, almost taking out the Obstagoon. Now we're going to let this go. They do go for the Cross Chop, but we're able to get to the Cross Chop, and we should be able to force that last shield or flip switch. Now we have flipped switch advantage. That's so nice. Rainy Cast form unfortunately does get a bit of an energy lead, and I bring in the Shadow Machamp, and I get outpaced. So a bit of a mistake there by me. I probably should have gone into the Cofagrigus, as I wouldn't have had to expend a shield. They have Dragalge in the back, so we are going for the Rock Slide, trying to get the shield, but they let it go. A nice play by the opponent there, and now we're going to be going straight for the Psychic. Now again, this will probably get shielded, but we're hoping for that defense drop. No defense drop, and we're going to be hit with an Outrage. This is going to hurt Cofagrigus as Dragalge hits very hard. In comes the Shadow Machamp, and unfortunately, it's a simultaneous KO. And since Rainy Cast form's live in the back, we take the loss. Alright, hopping in the next match against a Spice Lord, Shadow Machamp into Shadow Electivire. We will CMP tie on the first one. They'll throw the Wild Charge, we'll shield it up, and we'll go for the Cross Chop. We definitely have to shield that. Wild Charge would be killing like a whole, I don't even know, a whole town of Shadow Machamp. Now they're going to bring in Frostlass, and we do have two pretty good responses, so we are going to farm up, and now we're going to bring in Barbaracle. Here, let's see how much a Shadow Ball does. Oof, that hurts, but Barbaracle does survive it, and they bring in Mandibuzz. Come on. Does he know about the Stone Edge? Come on, please. Ah, he knows. That is tragic. And I do commit to the second Stone Edge there just so they are forced to throw it. And now we come back in with the Shadow Machamp, and we're going to be going straight for the Rock Slide, hoping that they call the bait here, which they do. That's so nice for us as we're able to get them very low. Now I can't shield here, which is tragic, because I have to save a shield for taking damage from the Frostlass. So we're going to have to let this go. It's the foul play. They bring in the Frostlass, and I'm going to be going straight for the Psychic. I am fully expecting them to shield here, but they no shield, and we're able to farm down. And now in comes the Mandibuzz. We still have the shield left, and we're going to be going for the Psychic again, hoping for that defense drop. Psychic gets the shield, and we're able to farm down. I definitely feel like my opponent probably should have shielded the Frostlass, but that ends up working out pretty well for us. Alright, Empoleon on the lead. This is pretty nice. They save swap into Kingdra, so I am expecting a potential third Dragon type in the back. So we go for the Cross Chop, which does get the shield. And now we bail into our Cofagrigus. We can survive any one move. Unfortunately, they go for the Outrage. I was calling the Octazooka, so that's rough. And they double shield to flip switch. Now we bring in the Shadow Machamp, and we're going to be farming down. We're still switch locked in, and unfortunately it's Dragalge. If it was Dragonite, I could have one-shot with a Rock Slide, but with Dragalge, I'm unable to do so. They bring in Empoleon to farm down, which is a pretty nice play, but Barbaracle should have a lot of play versus this team in the end game, as we have 2 shields left, so we are going to be shielding up this Hydro Cannon and now going for the Cross Chop. Now, this game will be tough, but with 2 shields, Barbaracle can put in a lot of work. We are going to slightly overfarm there because we really want to save the shield for when Dragalge comes back in. In comes Dragalge. We just got to get to the Stone Edge, and we get there. Let's go, Barbaracle. Coming in clutch, taking them out, and another victory for the ARM squad. You love to see it. Hopping into the next match, the Shadow Machamp Mirror. Now this can be tough. Typically I do like to try and go for the extra counter, which we're able to get. That is very nice. Since we're able to get it, we should hopefully be able to farm down. But my opponent does an amazing snipe with a Victini, and I lose all that energy. That is absolutely heartbreaking. We're going to bring in Barbaracle here, since Barbaracle is of course going to be resistant to V-Creates, and that's going to force them to go for the Psychic if they have it. Now Victini going for the V-Create there, so it turns out my guess is a single move Victini, and Barbaracle can soak V-Creates for days, and now we have to trust in Cofagrigus to 1v3. Now they bring out a Registeel. Okay, we just have to watch for the catch here. They go for the catch and they fail the catch. That's our win con there. We had to watch for our opponent to make the mistake. They try and catch. We're able to avoid being caught, and now we're in an okay position where we should be able to outpace the Registeel and win the match. So we shield up the Flash Cannon, and now we're just going straight for the Shadow Ball just in case they decide to no-shield. I don't want to go for the Psychic debuff because we don't really need the Psychic debuff here, as this Shadow Ball will be KOing, and Cofagrigus able to 1v3 in the back and get us the win. Alright, hopping in the next match, we have a terrible lead. Shadow Machamp into Ariados. And my plan here is I'm going to build up, I'm going to take a lunge, which is resisted, so I'll have some banked energy, and then I'll save switch out of here. And now we're going to save switch into Barbaracle, and my opponent counter swaps into a Ferrothorn. Now Ferrothorn is rough because we are taking double super effective damage from these Bullet Seeds, but the nice thing is our cross chops hit back hard, so we're able to apply a lot of pressure, and we're able to get them very, very low. I'm going to let this go because I would rather have extra energy on the Shadow Machamp more so than anything. And I am going to wait my clock here just so I'm not switch locked in too long versus the Ariados. And we're going to farm down. And now since we have an energy lead, I'm going to go ahead and bait with the Cross Chop, hoping to get the shield, which we do. That's so nice, and now I should be able to shield up and force the last shield or take them out with a Rock Slide. We're going for the Rock Slide. Come on, this is just another Cross Chop. Please don't shield it. Come on. Yes, we take out Ariados, and they have a Mandibuzz in the back, so things are looking a little rough for us. I'm going to bank a ton of energy, and then I'm going to switch into Cofagrigus just to tank some moves. Alright, we need to go for the Psychic here. Again, we haven't gotten one all video. We're hoping for that defense drop. Psychic, and we get the defense drop. Okay, we have a shot here. And my opponent does not overfarm. Things are looking good for us. Foul play will take us out, and we're going to be going for this Cross Chop, hoping to get the shield. And we do get the shield. Okay. We should be okay here, and now we're going for Cross Chop number 2. This will be applying so much pressure to that Mandibuzz, and it actually KOs. So we're able to get the win. Hopping into the next match, another Shadow Lapras, great lead for us. A save switch into Frostlass, and we will counter swap into our Cofagrigus. I'm fully expecting it's probably a Shadow Machamp in the back, so as soon as I made that switch, I realized what team it was, and I realized I had made a mistake, because if you definitely want to save Cofagrigus for the Shadow Machamp, I definitely could have brought in Barbaracle there. A Shadow Machamp with 2 shields will have a ton of play against the rest of my team. So they bring back in the Shadow Lapras, going for the Psychic here. Again, trying to get that defense drop. No such luck there. And here I'm thinking I probably have to preserve the Cofagrigus. So I am going to shield this up and probably try and pivot out of here. So we're going to bank a move, pivot into Barbaracle, and we bait out the Shadow Machamp. And my goal here is I need to try and do as much damage or force as many shields as I can. We should be able to get to one, but my opponent, very nice counting, decides to throw and deny me that opportunity. So things are not looking great here for us. I'm going to wait the clock. We do have loaded energy on Cofagrigus, but a Shadow Machamp without shields does not function very well. We're able to get the shield there, which is nice. So now we both have no shields. And here, if it's the Rock Slide, it takes me out. But they go for the Cross Chop, so I'm going to aggressively switch in. They bring in their Lapras, and this should be the Surf, and this will be doing a ton of damage. Shadow Machamp does survive. We're one counter off, and we're able to get there. So even though we misplayed pretty badly, still able to get the win. The ARM squad continues the streak. All right, Shadow Machamp into Golbat, absolutely terrible lead. We're going to save switch into Barbaracle and bait out an Empoleon. And this works pretty well for me. Empoleon, not a great response to Barbaracle, as Barbaracle can apply so much pressure. I am going to shield up here, reason being I should be able to get to 2 more Cross Chops before they reach their next Hydro Cannon. So we're going to be going for the Cross Chop here, and let's see if they do decide to spend the shield, which they do, and now we're able to outpace them. So are they going to give up the last shield here? They do not, and it's the Zionic team. There's a Greninja in the back, and we'll be able to apply a ton of pressure with this Cross Chop. That's fantastic. They're able to farm down, which is less than ideal, but Shadow Machamp does very well against Greninja, and we have the Cofagrigus in the back. I decide to let that go, reason being I have to save a shield for the potential Shadow Ball from the Shadow Golbat. So we are going to shield this up. It is the Shadow Ball, and now I'm going to overfarm until just before they get to another Shadow Ball, but they panic. They throw the Poison Fang, and this is perfect. This should allow me to farm up to basically 100 energy, and this should allow me to win the game. As the Psychic takes them out, and now we can go for the Shadow Ball versus the Greninja. It's resisted, but Greninja is extremely glassy. That does huge damage, and now we're able to Shadow Claw down a Dark type for the win. Alright, hopping into the next match, we have Shadow Machamp into a Escavalier. Now this is a pretty okay lead for us, as we are going to be outpacing them and applying a ton of pressure. Cross Chop lands, and they're unable to get to a move. That's great for us. They bring in Hypno. We have 2 good responses to Hypno, so we're going to save switch into Barbaracle, and we're going to bait out the second Steel type. So they're ABA weak to Shadow Machamp, one of their lead Pokemon and one of their back Pokemon. So baiting this out is very nice, and we're able to force a shield and apply a ton of pressure. Now here, we totally just let this go. We're not worried about it. They actually go for the Mirror Shot bait, which is very funny. They farm us down, but we have Shadow Machamp, and Shadow Machamp should do pretty well here. We call it again, and they Mirror Shot again. Oh no, please just Power Whip, I beg of you. They're going for another Mirror Shot. This will take me out, but now we have Cofagrigus with 2 shields, and Cofagrigus with 2 shields should be able to comfortably win this match. All we have to do is get the shield here, and then we just double shield, Shadow Claw all the way down, and leave with the Shadow Ball to KO the Ferrothorn. So from this point, the match is effectively over. Even if we get double baited here with 2 punches, which we do, that's fine. Cofagrigus, able to farm all the way down. We're going to leave with the Shadow Ball, and the opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. So all in all, I had a ton of fun running the ARM squad. I'll be honest, I was not expecting to get wins with it, but we went about even on the day, and honestly, for a theme team, I am ecstatic that it went that well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support is absolutely incredible, so thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.